It is halftime, and y'all hell must be freezing. They must be throwing some snowballs there, holding ice capades there. Next Winter Olympics, Clemson is up 18-7 over the Seminoles, and I'm shocked. I mean, that very first offensive drive was unbelievable. I mean, what more can I say? They have the lead by 11 points. Of course, they gave up the touchdown there right before halftime, but at the end of the day, Clemson scores a touchdown, and they're hitting field goals. I say they're hitting field goals. They've scored 2 touchdowns. They hit a field goal, and they're up 18-7. I'm going to dive into this in just a second. Hey, I'm glad you're here, hanging out with me. Halftime show. Told you I'd be here. And if you like what I'm doing, I hope you'll subscribe and pass along to your friends. It is free. I do appreciate it. I am at a very weird place here with this game because there's a part of me that steps back and says you're winning 18-7. And considering Duke, who just beat you at home last week, just lost to UConn, there's a lot of emotions that are going on. You're looking at Clemson's record, 3-5 right now, 2-4 in the ACC. And they are beating a team that is 4-4, 1-4 in the ACC. They lost to Stanford. Stanford, by the way, just lost to they lost to North Carolina today. And nothing is really making sense. Nothing is making sense at all. Even as I speak, Cal is beating Louisville. Now, I mean, we need to hold on here and just see how that all works out. There's a lot of the game left. Wake Forest is beating UVA as we speak. And as I talk about on my other channel, I talk about on this channel, by the way, shameless plug for the other channel, new channel I have, another college football podcast where I talk about college football as a whole. That link is below the description of this video. If you like what I'm doing, I hope you'll go over there and subscribe as well. It's free. Not taking anything out of the old bank account. But I talk about all the time that November is the month of focus. If you've reached this month and you have no blemishes or maybe one blemish, this is the month of focus. I mean, you've come through a lot, and all you have to do is focus. And the question is, with other schools like Wake Forest beating UVA right now, can UVA focus enough to win? Can Louisville refocus and win? Good grief, we're even seeing right now Alabama struggle with LSU, a team who just fired their head coach. Focus is the key. But as I look at this Clemson team, I see a couple of good things going on. They've been able to run the ball pretty solid. Antonio Williams is, from the first time I saw that guy live, saw him back in, 2022? He was a freshman. He was playing against NC State. NC State came to Clemson late at night. I was hanging out with my buddy Chase Henderson. He was like, hey, man, I have some really good tickets. You want to go with me? I was like, sure, I'd love to go with you. And he went up as a true freshman in between 2 defensive players and made them look like idiots. Called a football, Antonio Williams is an incredible player. We've seen some good things out of Tristan Smith. I mean, there's some good things that has went on. But I want to say this. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. Florida State has dropped some footballs that had they not, the coverage was not there. And we know what we can call that. It's a word that starts with L, and a lot of people doesn't believe in it. And I'm not really, let's just say this. Most teams will catch that wide open pass. And in the second half, if Florida State receives some sort of healing and they catch that wide open pass, this is a different game. But they didn't. And Clemson is up Right now, 18-7. And I just have I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I know that a lot of people are going to say, you can't even be happy, folks. You're 3-5, you're 2-4 in the ACC. This is the worst season in a while, but every year, go look at it for yourself. Clemson is losing more and more games every year. I'm not making that up. I can just look at history, and I'm recalling history. If you don't like that, just ask for a different history to be created. But my main concern with Clemson, if they should win this game, is that they draw some sort of strength or positivity from it, and changes that needs to be made that ensures that we will not have a season like we're having again for a very long time. I'm just being honest with you. I'm afraid that it won't happen. And everyone will get that short-term hit of dopamine, that dopamine rush that makes you feel good about everything. It's almost like a drug addict. If they can just get that fix for the moment, they'll be okay. It doesn't matter if it rots their nose off or they end up dead in a gutter somewhere. As long as they get that fix for that moment, they have something to smile about for the moment. It doesn't matter what it does to them in the long run. And I know that got really dark there and sadistic, and I really didn't mean it that way. But I'm just saying it's good that Clemson is winning. And then there's a part of me that, as a realist, I step back and I go, if they win this game, does that mean that all of a sudden the other 8 games that they played and the record that they have, is it just going to erase it all? I don't know. Let's get to the stats right now. First off, I'll look at the team stats. Excuse me. There's a bunch of you in here. If you haven't subscribed already, I hope you will. It's free. Let's get into the stats for the game. Right now, the stats are a lot closer than what you would think. Up until that last touchdown by Florida State to basically close out the half, Clemson looked like they had control of everything pretty handily. You look at the stats, it maybe brings things into a little more of a focus. Now, the time of possession is outrageously in Clemson's favor. Now, I want you to listen to this. Normally, you would tell the time of possession last. And normally I do. I'm going to tell it to you first because the numbers that follow it really doesn't make a lot of sense, but who cares? Clemson has had the ball 19 minutes and 56 seconds. That's a long time in a first half. Now, Florida State, 10 minutes and 4 seconds. You're like, whoa. Well, Clemson's had it 2/3 longer than them. Let's go to the stats other than that. Clemson has 10 first downs to Florida State 6. Clemson is 4 of 9 on third down efficiency to 3 of 8 for Florida State. 1 of 1 on fourth down for the Tigers, 1 of 2 for Florida State. Oh, Clemson's still in the favor there. Let's get to total yardage. Clemson has 208 total yards, 135 in the air, 73 on the ground. Florida State, 141. That's their total yardage. 75 in the air, 76. 75 in the air, 66 on the ground. We've only had one penalty called in this game. It was against Clemson. It's for 7 yards. That's where it was an odd place on the field, so it wasn't 5 or 10 or 15. Anyway, you get what I'm saying here. And Florida State turned over the football. So with that said, looking at time of possession and looking at a few other things working against them, I think we're splitting hairs with third downs. 18-7 is, I think that's pretty generous on Clemson's part that they have that much of a lead considering, other than time of possession, everything else. Now, I do like the creativity that we've seen out of the offense on the flea flicker. I like that. I like that they brutalized Florida State earlier. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. This is like the second time tonight on my video that I yawned. I actually slept last night. There were some good things there. At the same time, the defense has left some people open, and Florida State couldn't complete the pass. And I think going into the let's just talk about the second half here. Going into the second half, Clemson needs to address, why was so-and-so open? Whose man was that? Whose coverage? Who missed their coverage assignment? Because there's one specific pass that most of you could probably remember, and I'm trying to remember who it was to, but but Florida State was driving from the hillside towards the west end zone side. The guy was wide open, and he just couldn't hold on to the football. Had he caught that, and I believe he would, had he caught that, there's a very good chance that they would have at least got a field goal. It'd be 18-10 and so on. It's not. And I know for anyone who just loves Clemson so much, reality does not matter to you. You're ticked off at me right now. I'm used to that, by the way. With that said, Clemson has to clean that up in the second half if they want to win this ballgame. Because Florida State is only trailing by 11 points. Florida State can come back. And so if you're the Tigers and you want to win this ball game and you don't want to look even worse than what you already do, the key is to come out and score a touchdown right off the bat and then turn around and look at your defense and go, guys, I'm going to need you to play your assignment. Well, we had confusion. Guys, this is game 9. There's no confusion to be had. One play is one thing, but you've been doing this for a while. This is not Clemson-esque defense historically. So I'm, you've got to know who's covering who, y'all. And this Florida State team, I'm not talking trash about the Seminoles, but they are 4-4. They are 1-4 in the ACC, and they're only about one game better than you overall. And you actually have a little better record than them in the conference. It's not like you're playing Florida State from 99 or 13. These are two teams that, you could call it the butt cheese bowl. You could call it the butt bowl. You could call it the incompetent bowl. You could call it the underachievers bowl. You could call it the has-been bowl. So, let's not get too puffed up over winning right now. So, and that comment's been made from both sides. I'm just telling you, Florida State fans have said this to me. So, Clemson, if you really want to win this ball game, your coverage has got to cover. It's kind of, in the name and stuff. And for Florida State, if you want to actually make this a game, your wide receivers are going to have to catch a football. Part of being a receiver is receiving. And if you can't receive, you're not a receiver. And so, that is what it is. And anyway, I'm going to get into the comment section real quick, say hello to a few people I know will be starting second half. Not too long. I mean, again, as I said, right now, as I'm looking at this, halftime Cal is beating Louisville. Wake at half is beating UVA. LSU is hanging in there with Alabama in the second quarter. I mean, we can wait and see how that turns out. But I've got to stop yawning, y'all. I'm telling you, it's driving me nuts. By the way, Vanderbilt did hold on in overtime, and they won. I'm glad for the Commodores. They're very exciting to watch. Today, if you did not see the best catch I've seen all season, you need to go back and watch what ended up being the game winner for Indiana. Wow. Wow is all I got to say. That was crazy. It was a very, very crazy game. So let's get into the comment section real quick. I'm going to go straight to the top. Okay. Andrew, sorry, doing better than expected, but some of that is FSU not making plays. What is causing so many issues in the secondary? Andrew, your guess is as good as mine. I've never seen Clemson their coverage be this bad, maybe ever, until you go back to the late 90s when they had to fire a coach. The coverage is so bad consistently. Guys are open. And again, Clemson fans who you want Clemson to win no matter what. That Florida State receiver dropped the ball. Maybe the pass was a touch off, but that receiver dropped the ball. Who was covering him? There was no one near him. No one. It's absolutely nuts. Grafnar, my old buddy, thumbs up, people. Good to see Grafnar. Thanks for supporting the channel. Grafnar supports on a monthly basis. There is a join button below this video. I've made it affordable. So if you like what I do and you want to support monthly, go ahead. I won't stop you. At least subscribe. It's free. Good to see you, my old buddy. So far, not too shabby for y'all. Good to see you, buddy. Somebody fix something on the defense. I think they still have a lot of fixing to do, but we'll see. Roger Parks, thanks for supporting on a monthly basis. Clemson isn't playing well. FSU is just imploding. I'll meet you in the middle there. Clemson's made a few more plays that normally they wouldn't, but I agree with you overall. Brent Venables is coaching the defense tonight. I wouldn't say that because I think as soon as there was so much busted coverage, I think Venables may threaten to kill them and actually brandish a revolver. You like how I use that? I know. It puts a smile on my face. I agree. JJ says that. Brian, if you could ask Dabo one question and he had to answer 100% truthful, what would you ask him? Do you really believe in this coaching staff? And if I could get a bonus question, if he says yes, I would ask him, and why? Do you think Dabo's best years are behind him, or will he win any more championships? Matthew, very good question. If Dabo returns to the Dabo that won the championships, meaning he realized that, hey, I've got to put the guys in place, he wins more championships. If he doesn't, he won't. And his record will be severely tarnished, and his legacy will be severely tarnished, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. You Clemson fans are delusional. Be honest, FSU is playing like crap on offense. FSU will come back and win the second half. Hey, Freestyle. Good to see you. Here's one thing I'll say to you, Freestyle. We're both terrible. And we should both be embarrassed that both of our programs who have history behind us should even have half the record that we have, as bad as it is. It's ridiculous. And you're right. Y'all are dropping wide open passes. So, while Clemson fans have to hear about, oh, you're not going to the portal, y'all do go to the portal, and they're not catching footballs. That's bad. We're both bad. Good to see you, Freestyle. I wouldn't say Clemson isn't playing well, but we're serenely haven't fixed the issues in this secondary. Yeah, you're right, my man. The defense is getting lucky with the drops. This game would be much closer if FSU could connect. Yeah, good to see you, Dale. That was an interception. Foot was down. I have feelings about it. What a crazy year. Are we being punked? No, we're not being punked. This is what happens when everybody says year after year, oh, hey, you're spoiled. You're a spoiled fan base. You need to calm down. Yeah. When you start to see a leak in the wall, you fix the leak immediately when it's a $50 fix versus a $10,000 fix. And you have to rip up the floors, tear out studs, get rid of the drywall, all that bunch of stuff. I was screaming about that. And I had so many people say some really terrible things to me. And football, at the end of the day, really doesn't matter. And what I love to say is, how do you feel about that now? FSU has missed on some wide open plays. This game could be a lot different if not for their miscues. I agree with you 100%, Tim. Good to see you, buddy. We still have a whole second half, I say, Missouri. Hey, now with the expanded playoffs, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and lose 2 games, and you're still probably in. I'm going to scroll on down here. I know the second half has to be starting now. Ruby Ridge, 2 words more, Turner. Luigi says, as an FSU fan, you are my favorite fan. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Good to see you in here. Brian, you make a great point about winning this game and changes not happening. I truly believe if we win out, changes won't happen. Yeah. And I have a hard time believing that if we lose every game except for Furman, that changes will happen at wholesale. And that's what needs to happen. But hey, anyway. Mind of Alexander, Gig'em Aggies. Yeah, y'all look really, really good. May there should have had a take way at the goal line. Don't know what they were looking at. Ball moved after it hit the ground in the end zone. That is some horrible officiating. Brian, we just left the restroom near the end zone, and someone stuck up the joint pad. As an FSU fan, Clemson will beat us by 30 points. Living on the past bowl. Yeah. It's weird watching two superior teams in conference play each other, and they're both terrible. They look ridiculous. Alberto, are you cool with Pigskin Pete? Absolutely. Me and Pigskin Pete go way back. We go way back. Let me see. I could see you laughing, Brian, when Cole Turner called a 10-yard pass. Yeah. All right, folks. I know it's probably started already. Has it started already? Let me update this. I better update it. I guess the half will be starting here in just a moment. Keys for Clemson, you're going to have to come out if you want to win this ball game for whatever reason. Continue to run the ball, take some shots down the field. That's big. Defense, if you're in the secondary, your goal is coverage. And if you don't understand that, Lord help you. Anyway, y'all take care of yourself. I'll see you win or lose. I'll see you after the game. Y'all take care of yourself. And as always,